Hey, Liberal Dan here with my next video in coming to terms with activism. And the term I want to discuss today is fragility. Now, the first time I heard the term male fragility, I had that gut reaction that I talked about in my intro. I was just like, what are they talking about? Male fragility? Just because I'm a male doesn't mean And as quickly as I had my bad reaction to the term, I quickly realized that it was correct. It was apt. Because if I wasn't fragile, at least in a little bit, I wouldn't be having this negative reaction to the term fragility. So, what are they talking about with male fragility, white fragility? Well, anytime that anybody in any one of those groups sees something happening that kind of changes their worldview, changes how they look at the world, and it just makes it different. You're coming to make a change to the established norm that this person is used to. A lot of the times, you're going to see a kickback from people because those people don't necessarily like the change, or they're scared of the change, or they're uncomfortable with the change. Either way, it basically shows a kind of fragility, like that they're worried that they're going to be hurt in some way by this change. And their reactions expose how fragile they are when it comes to it, because they're afraid that it's going to break everything apart that they hold dear, and that they are going to somehow have a negative experience by these things coming to light. So, how do you deal with your fragility? Well, first of all, if somebody says that you have fragility from either being male fragility or white fragility or what have you, don't get that, oh my God, I'm not fragile, because you're proving that you're fragile by having that negative reaction. And instead, again, use some empathy, try and figure out why they're saying you have this fragility. Maybe have a conversation, a calm conversation about it. And then try and figure out how you can go ahead and fix what it is that's causing you to be sensitive to the arguments that other people might be bringing up. And maybe you will then make yourself less fragile. And if you can simply look at an argument that's being made about maybe a general man or men and say, you know what, they're right, a lot of men do this, and it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm doing it, and not have to respond with like, oh, not all men. Maybe at that point you'll start becoming less fragile, and then start becoming more able to help out with the causes that we'll be talking about over the next days, weeks, and months. Anyway, thank you very much. Keep your eye out for more videos on this topic and other topics that I'm going to be bringing up over the course of the new year. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and also follow me at Liberal Dan Radio on Twitter, Facebook.com/LiberalDan, and LiberalDan.com.